Good morning from andBeyond Kichwa, Tembo in Kenya's Masai Mara. We've started our game drive a little early and the sun's about to come up, the full moon's about to go down, and there's a herd of elephants just in front of us.
If you look beyond that elephant way down in the distance, there is a band of mist just before a dark forest, and that's a marshland. And it looks like these two big elephant bulls are probably heading down there. And as the day heats up, they can keep their feet cool in the wet sand and feed on the lush green grass. For now we'll leave these elephants as they make their way down there, and we're going to be starting our search for the Great Migration.
I can't take this strange smile off my face, because that is a spectacular start to our search for the Great Migration. I don't think that will be the last of the elephants we see today, because we're going to spend some of our time searching the Mara River, just seeing if there are any animals congregating there. I said earlier with that first group of elephants, they're probably not going to be our last elephants that we see. There's a big group coming across from the grassland towards the marsh and the Mara River. You can see them just crossing out ahead of us. We'll wait a little patiently to see where they go. Looks like they're being led by a big bull in the front. And there's some cows and calves out here.
So peaceful watching these elephants cross through this grassland, and they're passing by a group of Tefasa waterbuck who are not as relaxed as the elephants. Oh, what's this youngster? Shaking his head at the waterbucks as they pass by. Look at the one in the front. He's got beautiful tusks, and if you go up from those tusks, very angled forehead. That's what tells us that it's a female. And those tusks are huge, so that's not a good decider. But that angled forehead and then being trailed by the calf is a pretty good indicator. You might find with a small group like that, it'll be her most recent calf and her previous calf. And judging by the size of that recent calf, that one in the middle, wouldn't be surprised if she's pregnant right now. That would be really special. You can see the small one, its tusks are protruding. And if we go on an age guide, we'd probably say that that's between 2 and 3 years old, which is the time that this female should start looking to mate again and reproduce. Yeah, they're about to cross the road. Watch, they might slow down at the ledge. Yep. Watch those feet. 1 foot at a time. See how they hesitate on the downhill. And that young male, look at his round head compared to that big female we saw earlier. Hesitate on the downhill, see what he does on the uphill. Not so much of a blink. As they've crossed the road, there's an abundance of termitaria. So it looks like they've stopped and are now feeding on things like woolly capers, potato bush, and not just feeding on grass as they would have been as they walked through the grassland from the escarpment. It didn't take them long to start moving. Oh, there's a big bull trailing behind. I wonder if that hasn't encouraged their movement. Here comes that big bull. He's got his trunk to the ground and he's smelling exactly where that herd's moved. Remember what I was saying about that big female? It is the time that she's either pregnant or going to be looking to mate, and I wonder if he's got that scent. He's not feeding at all. Pretty determined march. We'll see if he's feeding. I can see him chewing a little bit, just grinding through grass. As he's got closer to this herd, he has just started feeding a little bit more. And it could be almost displacement feeding. No, proper feeding. And what I say about displacement feeding is that he could feed almost as a distraction so that the females think that he is eating, and he can get a little bit closer and get a better understanding of what the female's condition is, if they're ready to mate or not. This elephant looks like he's having a good feed as he catches up with this herd. Look at the hesitation again on the downhill, and crosses. It's not the biggest elephant bull in the area, which might be also why he's taking it a little slow to get into the herd, because he could get displaced. Oh, you see his trunk up? Smelling that herd now. I'm sure you can see them and smell them. What I was saying is he could get displaced by an even bigger elephant.